Hey everybody, it's Ben here, welcome back. Today I have a pretty interesting topic in my mind, and that is about acceptance, and it's what I called a basket theory, but I made up that name. But it's based on a fundamental principle, and it's based on a saying which I heard quite some time ago. And the saying is, it's all from the same basket, it's all about how you feel about it. So to break that down, because it was a little bit difficult for me to understand at first, I had to think about it for a while. But if you take the concept of oneness and that everything that exists is one, which, if you think about it, everything on the planet, everything in the universe, all of the things that exist, like the trees, me, you, everything that exists is all part of the one whole. So everything is one if you think about it in that context. So when we say it's all from the same basket, that is what that is referring to, that everything is part of the one whole. So really it's all got equal value. So taking this a step further, say you go to a buffet restaurant and you've got 20 different options of foods that you can choose. You're going to most likely pick the foods that you enjoy eating and the foods that you like. So you might have 5 or 6 different foods that you're going to put on your plate, and you're going to walk past the ones that you don't really care about, the ones that you don't like, the foods that you don't want to eat. So you put the foods on your plate that you preference and leave the rest. You walk to your table, you eat the food, you're not thinking about the other foods that you didn't put on your plate. Like, that's irrelevant, you don't think about it. So this very much relates to this saying, it's all from the same basket, it's all about how you feel about it. So this even includes emotional states or conversations or our thoughts that we have, the good, the bad, everything. It's all from the same basket, or what we perceive as good and bad. And this topic will change your perception of good and bad, I hope, because it did for me. So I did have a drawing with me about this. I drew a basket myself. So I'm a good artist in more ways than one, as you can see. So the green, we can say, if we relate this to the buffet example, the green can represent the foods that we like, and the purple can represent the foods that we don't like. But yeah, we'll just take the buffet example to begin with, because I think that's really easy to understand. So we take the green and we leave the rest in the basket, but it's all from the same basket. So really the green and the purple are equal. So if we translate this to life, we've got green, which is wanted, that represents what we want. The purple represents unwanted, and they're the things that we don't want. So in the case of food, we'll take the green ones and we'll leave the purple behind. But in life, we put meaning and emotions and attachments on the different things in the basket, whether it's wanted or unwanted. And really, by learning this principle, we can learn that we really don't need to do that. So easier said than done, and we go through cycles of light and dark as well. That is just life, that is part of the process, and we need the darkness too. But the green represents, if we take life situations here, they could represent solutions to problems. That could be constructive guidance. That could be listening to music that you like. It could be doing your homework. It could be a number of things. The green things that are the wanted things. The purple things, relative to life, they represent darkness. So if we focus on those things, we are aligned with darkness. And I think we all know what darkness is. So this is very, very interesting for me. So this theory is related to acceptance, because we're saying all of the states are from the same basket. It's all about how you feel about it. So So this concept is related to acceptance. So when we talk about acceptance in spirituality, this is what it really means. And as I said, it took me a while to understand it, but acceptance doesn't mean So this concept relates to acceptance. So when we talk about acceptance in spirituality, this is what it really means. It doesn't mean, yeah, man, okay. So this concept relates to acceptance. So when we talk about acceptance in spirituality, this is what it really means. And it took me a while to understand this, but acceptance doesn't mean accepting things that are bad, or it doesn't mean being complacent or lazy or saying life is as it is, so I'm not going to do anything. That's not what acceptance means. All it means is, looking at the basket, we can, if we acknowledge that the things So this concept relates to acceptance, and acceptance is something that we talk about in spirituality quite a lot, but this is the real meaning of what it is. So we don't stay in a state of acceptance, but it allows us to discern what we want from what we don't want, and that we don't really need to pay attention to what we don't want as much, because it's all from the same basket. It's all of equal value. We can focus on the green numbers in the basket, but we're going to encounter problems, of course. That's part of life, but we have to try our best to move from the purple to the green, and there are ways of doing this, and perhaps that can be content for another video, but that is what acceptance really means. It doesn't mean to stay in a state of acceptance and just accept things as they are and not move forward from that acceptance state. It allows us to get to a loving state, because if we can accept that the light and dark have equal value, it removes the resistance that we have towards the dark. It's like at a buffet restaurant, how you would just walk away from the foods that you don't like. We can apply that same principle to life with practice, and then from there, it's like a platform to leverage us into a more loving state when we know that we can pick the green ones and not have to pay as much attention to the purple numbers in the basket. So it's all from the same basket. It's all about how you feel about it. Cheers. Thank you for watching.